Hello and welcome back to Rogue Trader. Last time we killed a bunch of people from Arazai and we have a bunch of loot lying on the ground here. So I think we're going to start by picking it up. Right, let's start here. So immediately we got all of this loot which we know was garbage. Dark Reaver. Whenever the wearer dodges an enemy ranged attack, they immediately perform a single attack with the equipped melee weapon on a random adjacent enemy. This attack has 35% armor penetration and parry reduction, and can only be performed 3 times in a single round. Interesting. We'll take one, the rest can go. Las pistol that does 80% armor pen, yeah, we'll take that. Default claves, I think we can get rid of those. Okay, so, Marazai, is this better? When they have 2 melee weapons equipped, gains weapon skill and critical damage. So no, it's not better. It seems like it could be if you play it right, but for our particular stuff, not better. Okay, and then we have the blast pistol, and we only have... Oh, we have you technically use a pistol, so let me just check. Yeah, so yours does more damage, so it's probably not going to be better, but that's fine. Okay, so that was Corel and Archon Nazrakai and Sinistoria. So we didn't really get any major loot there. There might be more loot on the map though. That there might be things to find. Like these goods might actually hold some good loot. Aha! Claws of the Black Hunt. Whenever the wearer performs a melee attack on an enemy, that attack inflicts 1 stack of the Black Hunt effect. If the enemy has at least 1 stack of Black Hunt, each attack from an ally on that enemy inflicts 1 more stack. Each stack gives critical hit and critical damage. Okay. Well, we'll take it because we don't have one, and then again it's like it's a Marazai only thing, so let's have a look. So increases his damage for wounds lost. I think I prefer that, especially given how that last fight went with him.
Rise to the top,
More
or get
garbage.
left in the dust.
Yep. Cool, head down here, and then we will have a look for anything else. Anything back here? No? Anything on the map? No? Alright, well I think we're done here then. Okay, I was kind of expecting there to be a little bit more loot, but I guess not. Oh, this Kabalite warrior also had loot on him. Oh well, he's dead as well. Right. Up here, I don't know really why I'm picking up all the garbage because we can't really do anything with it, but I suppose it's only 1 button press. Because we can't sell anything, right? Like there's no one to buy all of our cargo. I just don't know what it's for. Maybe there'll be something right before the end where we'll get one guy's like, I'll buy all your cargo and you can have these special items. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that it is just useless now. But hey, whatever. It's fine. Right. Voidship bridge. Let's go. Okay, so Marazai said he wanted to speak to us when we're back on the bridge, so Marazai will head over here, we'll do a quick save, and we'll see what he thinks, given that he was thoroughly betrayed.
Rogue Trader.
You finally dealt with your last enemy, what's next for you?
The Cabal is as good as dead, and everyone who wanted me dead has perished along with it. Now that I'm no longer being hunted by assassins, I'm free to choose my next steps. It is a strange feeling. I will grapple with that later, but for now, new blood and fresh suffering awaits us. I would hate to miss all the fun.
So this says you helped Marazai deal with his enemies from Komarag who were after him. That's interesting. Usually when it's blue, it means that there was an alternative path that you could have had in this conversation. That's intriguing. Does that mean that potentially had we done something differently, Marazai would have done something different? Okay.
Then go. I will find something to amuse myself with.
What does it mean failed, proceed to the meeting place? We quite clearly succeeded. Anyway, that's fine. Anyway. So that's that done. I kind of thought there would be a little bit more to that, but that's okay, because now we can head immediately back out again and on to the next mission. Cool. But yeah, I'm wondering what the other options would have been. I guess if you were heretical, we might have got something else. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, if you were dogmatic, he'd be dead. Probably in most situations. And then if he was, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he betrays you under a circuit, but then he wouldn't have the conversation if he betrayed you. Yeah, maybe if he went crazy with Silent Thresh, maybe that would have done something. Anyway, let's head to Neos Chartoritis and see what's going on there. Travel. Along the orange route. Ooh, one we haven't seen before. The command bridge received an alarming Vox message from the quartermaster. Some of the provisions and drinking water have gone bad and continue to worsen, teeming with fat, grey maggots. However, the ship's air remains undefiled by rank odor, and the maggots sometimes completely vanish from sight. Should we get rid of the affected stores? Make sure the contamination is not a mere illusion. At first glance, the provisions are hopelessly ruined by scabs and disgusting larvae, but looking away makes the squirming filth vanish into thin air. Yet another deception of the warp, thought the Lord Captain, proved right when the vessel arrived in real space. So basically, like, no negative from that one. Alright, chart new routes. I'm assuming this is going to connect now. Yeah, okay. I'm also assuming this is where we need to go. So, let's visit here. This must be Ulfar's place then. Unless the other one is. We'll do a quick save here as well. Okay, so we got unknown ships there. We'll go there last. Well, maybe. We'll see. There's scan number 1. Abandoned camp. Under thin clouds, as if shredded by a careless blade, sway vast steppes carpeted by pale gold deadwood. The rogue trader's attentive eye distinguishes a region among the endless grasses that does not fit into the general landscape. The scouts from the shuttle see signs of intelligent life. Judging by the trampled soil and tent frames, someone made camp here. Distant silhouettes form a tangle of paths and obstacles. A maze. The outer walls are supplemented by a multitude of spikes and blades, and decorated with scraps of leather and withered, crucified prisoners. It does not take an expert in xenoculture to reason that the Drukhari have been here. Send out a squad of scouts to search the camp? As they comb over the tracks left by the Drukhari structures, the scouts find items of Imperium make. Blood-soaked clothes, an aquila patch, and a data slate cracked in half. Gothic letters and the symbol of the Inquisition are frozen on its bottom half. The sentence fragments make up part of an exploration report. The servants of von Valancius find a rough illustration of the camp in the pocket of a filthy coat. On it are marked 2 locations. The first is shown with a sword and highlights an area where items were found. The other is a skull and points to a patch of ground by the maze. Let's find out what's next to the skull. The scouts carefully inspect every piece of land in the marked area and discover a camouflage pit studded with strong, thin needles. In a niche snuck into the wall of the trap glitters a volumetric flask with an ugly creature that looks like several brains stuck together. Lore Xenos allows us to analyze the nature of the creature. The rogue trader's people recognize the grotesque figure as a Drukhari Medusa, a parasite capable of registering emotions and transferring them to its masters. The thing was left here as the equivalent of a pict recorder, collecting the suffering of the Drukhari's victims. I'll leave it, continue exploring the area. Deep prints belonging to landing legs and a ladder are visible in the grass behind the maze. The relative positions of the recesses correspond to the design of an Imperial shuttle. When the von Valancius scouts approach, they find a wax seal bearing the symbol of the Inquisition and a monogram formed from the letters XC. An officer voices the proposition that the initials correspond to the name of the Lord Inquisitor, Xavier Calcazar. Awareness check. I believe this is a very difficult check, which we're going to auto-pass, but still. Search for other objects in the grass. A segment of the dry grass a few meters in front of the prints from the ladder has been cut as if scythed. Among the chopped stems lies a piece of a Drukhari trophy, a flap of dark skin stretched out by thin chains. Most of it is covered by a tattoo, a silhouette of a storm or a tornado, and a black symbol composed of curved lines and sharp edges. Okay, and that gets us the master-crafted Hekatari blade. Alright, now we'll burn the Xeno presents. Cool. The predatory structures do not burn easily, and it takes a long time for them to heat up. When the flames finally gather strength, turquoise explosions flash amid the yellow-orange waves. Whatever was down there was dangerous. Okay, the reason I didn't destroy the Medusa right away, by the way, is I was wondering whether if you did that, you maybe weren't able to progress because maybe that alerted someone. That was my initial thought, but anyway, it turned out to be nothing. That's a pretty big damage increase. What's the buff here? Until the end of combat, you get weapon skill, ballistic skill, toughness, and strength every time you deal damage. It's pretty good, so this is probably better than the secondary then. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, not that I think we're going to use Marazai again. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think he's in our immediate plans. Yeah, and she is the better pistol as well, so yeah, there's no reason to give this blast pistol to her. Just thought I'd check. Right. Do a little save, and then we'll head over here. Next planet. Lord Captain, there was an incident on the flight deck. The planet we discovered is located at the coordinates of interest to the Honorable Ulfar, Angel of the Emperor. The moment he learned about this, he chose to abandon ship. He ordered a shuttle to be provided to him and directed it to the world for us. We don't know where exactly he wishes to go, but the augurs have tracked the shuttle to its landing site. He stole a shuttle. How did this happen? I mean, he's a space wolf. He probably just walked past people and they were like, I'm not getting in his way. Anyway. Lord Ulfar simply showed up at the deck, drove the enforcers away and demanded to be granted clearance for takeoff. Your servants became frightened and dared not disobey his orders. And that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Why have I not been notified of his actions right away? He forbade it, and the enforcers did not dare to defy an angel of the Emperor. I am very sorry. Alright. I see. I'm not going to execute them. I apologize for having to bring you this terrible news, Captain. Alright. Well, we have to go get Ulfar back now. A scouting party led by the rogue trader himself makes planetfall on the frozen world. The shuttle on which Ulfar Thunderlung departed the ship has been designated the starting point for the search. Said shuttle is found at the landing site, intact and undamaged. Examine it. The machine spirit is in fine form and is ready to ascend from the world's surface. No clues have been found as to Ulfar Thunderlung's intended destination, but a keen-eyed scout sights several disturbed snowdrifts that may indicate the route taken by the space wolf. Scout out the area. The scouts discover numerous structures, burial grounds and obelisks of the Xeno race that once ruled these star systems, all of which are now encased in ice and solemn sepulchral stillness. No signs of activity by potentially hostile Xenos have been detected. Follow the trail. The group bravely ventures onward into the realm of blinding white and crackling frost. The sky is soon blanketed with snow clouds that block out the stars' light. The wind, howling like a pack of hungry spirits, sweeps away all tracks and whips up a furious storm. The path is full of dangers. A treacherous crevasse, hidden under the snow's crust, suddenly opens wide underneath the enforcer's feet. It is only the vigilance of the Lord Captain and his companions who hear the telltale crack in time that saves the soldiers from certain death. A few hours later, the expedition comes to a plateau. Rising up ahead is the dark hull of an Imperial trading vessel that once landed on the world's surface. Investigate the ship. The ship is identified as the Revelation Granted, the merchant cog commandeered by the baleful Howl on Footfall. No signs of struggle or other misfortune are found aboard, only some useful cargo in the hold. Contrary to expectations, no crew members are found, dead or alive. The ship has been abandoned and its fuel systems are non-functional. The Promethium has frozen solid and ruptured the tanks and pipes. The escalating storm sweeps over the group as if trying to bury them in darkness, snow, and obliterating whirlwinds. Look for signs of Ulfar. Fresh tracks in the snow leading to the ship's airlocks indicate that he was here, and recently. However, he was not alone. The scouts find strange dips in the snowdrifts surrounding the ship. It seems someone was watching the ship from a position buried in the snow around the same time that Ulfar Thunderlung was searching it. Sends scouts to survey the area. The enforcers search the area and return without finding anything of interest. Not all of them return. In fact, several seem to have lost their way and failed to make it back to the ship. Contact the ship in orbit. The raging storm makes it impossible to establish a Vox link with the rogue trader's vessel, leaving the expedition stranded without aid, but probably not for long. The officers on the bridge should have immediately dispatched help as soon as contact with the scouting party was lost. I'm not going to take shelter, I'm going to decide what direction the search will go next. In the raging blizzard, it's impossible to determine which way the Space Wolf might have gone. A pair of brave trackers strike out on a long-distance scouting run and have not returned hours later. Alright, I'll take shelter in the ship and set up camp. The bone-weary soldiers welcome the chance to rest. Watchful sentries stand guard while their more fortunate comrades stuff themselves with the now frozen rations of the ship's vanished crew. The temperament inexorably plummets, but the brave enforcers, following the Lord Captain's example, staunchly endure the trial and do not lose heart. One of the sentries delivers an anxious report that to the Lord Captain. He has seen a massive shadow in the darkness, and it was definitely not Ulfar Thunderlung. Light a brighter fire? Might attract people. I'm just thinking here, double the sentries isn't going to tell us anything more. Hide in the ship's compartment, we're not going to hide, we're not going to go offensive. I think lighting a brighter fire, that means if it's an enemy, we'll be more likely to see them. If it's a friendly, they'll be more easily able to see us. The only problem is if it's something that, like, you know, we're attracting by lighting the fire, then it might come and attack us, but I'm okay with that. Light a brighter fire. Barrels of frozen promethium are dragged outside. The frozen fuel reluctantly succumbs to the heat of the thermal cutters, and fires kindle around the ship. Even this is not enough to dispel the snowy darkness, but people are buoyed up by the additional light and warmth. A messenger rushes to the Lord Captain to report one of the sentries is missing. Large tracks have been found near the sentry's post, as well as a few drops of blood. Okay, now we double the sentries. Despite the reinforcements, the sentries cannot conceal their fear. The unknown has robbed them of their courage. A terrible rumbling cuts through the roar of the storm. The clash and clamour of battle is followed by a furious, agonizing scream. Send the party towards the sound of battle as soon as possible. Tied together with ropes and bolstering each other with battle cries, the enforcers rush towards the battle in human chains. Unable to see anything ahead in the darkness and swirling snow, they blindly stride towards the source of the battle's monstrous thunder. So it says I can't choose this option at the top. I can't send the soldiers forward. I'm guessing that's because someone died. Like, we must have had soldiers die, so that's why we can't do this. I'm assuming that these were... Yeah, I think we had 3 opportunities for soldiers to die, right? So these must be like, you can do this one, or this one, or this one, depending on how many soldiers you have left, or you have to take the default. I'm going to personally rush into battle against the mysterious foe. It's using our stats, though. Alright, I'm going to do it. The Lord Captain charges forward, his soldiers rushing after him. Also, was that using our stat? It was using us. Oh, wow. And an eerie shadow blocks their path. It is cloaked by the snow and the dark, which turns it into a barely discernible silhouette that emanates the promise of death. Clashing with the unknown enemy that cannot even be seen, the rogue trader deals several devastating blows, and then the malevolent foe hurriedly retreats into the blizzard. Ulfar is found lying in the blood-soaked snow, his body covered in grievous wounds, but the wolf continues to cling to life. With great care, he is borne to the shuttles and, wasting no time, brought back to the ship for urgent treatment. Okay, well, back to the ship then. We will see what has happened to him. That's a very odd way of doing the Ulfar's mission. Yeah, it was kind of. It was almost like it would have been like one of those big, what I call the storybook sections. Had it had, like, you know, let's say they had another 3 months on the game's dev, that would have been one of those. I don't know. It just seemed a little odd. Anyway, Ulfar? He's this direction. I keep going the wrong way. Oh, we were meant to talk to the Voxmaster first, right? Yeah, we'll do that first. Lord Captain, the ship informed me of our imminent meeting. It's also not over there. Interesting. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? No. Okay. How is it Ulfar? Has he regained consciousness? He is feeling better, Lord Captain. The ship's chirurgeon was amazed by his resilience. The esteemed Lord Ulfar is currently convalescing in his chambers. Have a servant escort me there. Okay, we're going somewhere new in the ship. Okay, let's see what his quarters are like. Probably very similar to ours. No, not at all. This is a weird set of quarters. Okay. Well, let's head in then. I might do I was going to do a quick save, but it doesn't matter. Ulfar's dark figure towers over you. His head is lowered, his hair hanging in a curtain across his face. His fair skin is cross-hatched with broad crimson scars held together by metal staples and covered with black spiked runes for physical healing. Could an ordinary mortal have survived such injuries? Unlikely. With a twitch of his fingers, Ulfar bids the two servants in attendance to step away so as not to intrude on your conversation. They silently retreat. Advatar, must thank you for saving me. I had a difficult battle. I'm glad you survived, Ulfar. I always survive. Ah yes, his curse. Why did you decide to go to that world alone? After a few moments of silence, Ulfar says quietly, So I did not have to bury your body in the snow, Advatar. It is not out of arrogance that wolves do not allow mortals into our affairs, but just because the burden of those deeds is heavy, and they reek of death. Just consider what kind of threat you could have been facing, in a place where an entire pack of Astartes has disappeared. If I had risked you for the sake of fulfilling my vows, would that have been worthy of me? We fight together. Do not forget that I am your Advatar. Ulfar heaves a sigh which seems to hang in the air between you. You and I are different. Your way is to rule and build, while mine is to destroy and chase down prey. Such is the Allfather's plan. And in that plan, my death on the battlefield is an expected and joyous event, while your death would be premature, sorrowful, damaging to many other lives. He's not wrong. Did you find any trace of your brothers? The vessel I found, the revelation granted, that was them. Inside there were signs that wolf scouts leave for their brothers. The baleful howl landed the ship on the surface and left, and the rest of the crew disappeared. I followed my brother's trail until an unknown foe blocked my path, and battle ensued. What foe is capable of besting you in combat? Your wounds were truly terrifying. An evil spirit. It attacked me from behind and wounded me instantly. Ulfar points to a particularly gruesome scar on his chest, the strike clearly intended for one of the Space Wolf's two hearts. The wound gives off a strong, medicinal smell, but it is not one you recognize, probably a Fenrysian balm brewed by Ulfar himself. Your healers would faint after one whiff of such a potion. The snow covered my eyes, and I could only make out a shadow, but it moved fast and it was strong. If the Allfather's gift had not knitted my ribs into a hard carapace, that blow would have been my last. The wolf says these words with chilling nonchalance. I can still feel its claws in my chest. Frost, shredding flesh. Wounds left by spirits are dangerous. They create a spiritual link between your body and its pernicious mind. The only way to heal such mutilations is to brew a potion from the blood spilt by their incorporeal bodies. That evil spirit wounded me too, by the way. Then we are both marked. Our bodies will be tormented by its deadly touch until it is defeated. But fear not, Advatar. We will defeat it. I swear it. Your pack seems to have led an entire ship's crew to their deaths. Wolf shrugs sadly. Do not blame us for what we are. Death always clings to the warriors of the Allfather, and we are fated for no deeds other than those accomplished in the jaws of Morkai. I see. Ulfar nods in agreement, his face grim. You are not your usual self, you seem more somber. In bitter paths comes wisdom. In the wake of bloody losses and shattered dreams, heavy thoughts weighing on its broad shoulders, it enters unbidden and takes a seat by your hearth. Okay. Have you been thinking about your life? About the future. Have you ever wondered what it means to become an Astartes? To know no other family but your brothers in battle. To know no other feast but the joys of slaying your enemies and extolling your fallen comrades. To know with certainty that your death will be terrible, brutal, and agonizing. For time holds no sway over us, and no warrior of the All-Father is ever breathed his last in a soft bed. Death holds no fear for us at Vatar. We've been eating at the same table since day one. Perhaps something good awaits you in the future. Listen, at Vatar. When the wolf priest tested me, I went to the gate of Morkai, a dark place where real space and the thoughts of the great wolves intertwine like tentacles of a kraken. Everyone who appears before the gates is granted a vision, and mine was a dark omen. I saw myself in two guises, one as white as the moon and the other as black as the lowering sky. The two were locked in combat. As for which me emerged victorious, that was hidden from my sight. But that is not what frightened me. The Black Wolf's gaze was fearsome, full of more pain than he could ever inflict himself. It drove him mad, turning him into a monster. And as dark as he appeared, I recognized myself in him. After all, I was made for destruction, torment, annihilation. I am the more agile monster. Does that mean that, by the All-Father's design, I must drink this cup of pain to the bottom in order to fill his plan? I do not know. Ulfar looks at you, his expression inscrutable. Tell me, why are there no rhymes in your songs? Rhymes are empty frippery. A saga must be alive. If the words happen to fall into rhyme, well, that is grand. But to make your whole story fit neatly into such a pattern, you must either twist the truth in the service of beauty, or live your life for the sake of a hymn. Or rhyme, sorry. Neither is to the wolf's liking. Our sagas are voices sounded through eternity. When we hear them, we do not hear stories, we hear the tellers speaking their words to us now. You still believe you will find your brothers? I will find them. Ulfar clenches his fists. Probably not alive, but I will find them. Thank you for your answers. You have a right to them. So, for the next one, I saw it at the back here. Interesting. I'm pleased to see my servants found a fitting shrine for your armor. The splendor and monumentality of the chamber, bereft of the solemnity of the sacrament unfolding within. As if performing an intricate dance, the servants of the Omnissiah move in time with the murmuring mechanism, circling the massive space wolf while he stands utterly still. The scent of the sacred incense fills the air, giving the sense that one is witnessing a grand ritual. An Astartes needs very little. A cell and a table where I can perform the purifying rite of my weapon. That is all I require. But to keep the armor bestowed upon me by the All-Father in some shabby cubicle would be sacrilege. This chamber will do well for the vesting ceremony. There is good plasteel beneath the rich decorations and gilding. Yes, I am satisfied. What are the servants doing? It is time for me to don my skin again. Ulfar shrugs wearily, his body giving off heat and animal scent. One of the servants opens up a casket containing contact unguent. It will be used to anoint each of the black carapace's neural ports marring the wolf's skin. The sacred augmentation seamlessly fuses Ulfar's body with his armor and every fiber bundle of it. I feel flayed without it. Recently, I've been trying to remember what it is to live without a skin. I can't. Too many years have passed. What will you do now? I must return. My foe awaits me, and it would be dishonorable to retreat from this battle. But I will need help in the fighting. You can count on me. I know, White Vatar. Ulfar nods to the servants, and in low voices they begin a guttural prayer. Shadows leap across the walls, twisting together in a majestic and savage dance. In the flickering candlelight, the sacred rite is performed. The angel of the Emperor is clothed in the armor of unwavering faith and his wrath. I understand. Ulfar standing on a dais beneath the gilded vaults resembles a cast-iron statue of a space marine as seen adorning many temples. All that is missing is the armor. Sensing a task not yet complete, mechadendrite tentacles descend from the ceiling towards the wolf, preparing to begin the sacrament of vesting. The backpack is the repository of the mighty machine spirit that supplies the Space Marine's armor with motive force. Its efforts ensure the heavy armor does not burden the wearer, but rather multiplies his strength and endurance 100-fold. The resplendent armor of the Emperor's Angel, which has seen more than one battle and taken more than one ferocious blow in its centuries of service. And this. The skin of the wild beast conjures up images of a bloody battle between the one who now wears it and the creature from which it was taken. Okay, well, we're going to leave and then we're going to go hunting. I am thinking about who I'm taking on this hunting trip. I'm thinking about it quite a lot. I was considering both Erliet and Marazai for different reasons. They both seem like Erliet was on the jungle world, was definitely doing some animal control there. Marazai, I feel, would love a hunt, but I don't think I can bring either of them to Ulfar's companion quest. It just feels wrong. So, in which case, we're just gonna take, I don't know, we're gonna take a team of people who are very skilled at this sort of work. So let's see. So we're gonna take Abelard. We're gonna take our best team, basically, of like just pure damage. I mean, Argenta's gonna go, right? I kind of want to bring Heinrichs. And then maybe Jai. I think that could work. I think that seems like our team. I'm tempted to take Adira over Heinrichs, but yeah, we'll stick with this. This is kind of like our default good team. I guess we could take Cassia, as in like our Imperium team, I would say. We could take Cassia, we could take Pascal. I think this is fine. This works. I think this would be good. I want to take somebody who's good at talking, just in case there is a bit of talking to do. Okay. Artie? Yeah, that's not right. Something's not right here. Kinda feel... I'm almost feeling that, but let's go with this. That seems reasonable. Okay. Do a quick save. Let's have a quick look at the map. So it's not a very big map. Okay. There's not really many paths to go. I always keep my
options open.
Okay.
Pay attention.
Oh, there is a way down. Cool.
Centuries of service and practice.
Let's grab this. Virtuous Vindication. On hit, targets must perform a toughness resistance test with a +10 bonus. If they fail, they suffer burning 24 and melting. Additionally, they're stunned for 1 turn. If they pass, they suffer burning 8 and melting. Alright. Interesting. So, just checking who could possibly equip that. You can't equip it. So, it's just Pascal then. Okay.
Was that
That's fine.
supposed to be a
Wait,
challenge?
unless... Can you equip it? No. And you she had, like, exotic weapons
Let us
stuff.
not dawdle.
But no, it must just be Pascal who can equip that. Alright, well, we'll check when we get to him. The bodies of uniformed Imperial scouts have been scattered around a designated mine. Well, that's some Necron stuff going on there. Interesting. Also, those are quite clearly some space wolves. The scouts discovered Ulfar's lifeless body here. Okay. I kind of take back some what I was saying previously about being weird that it was like a storybook, not a storybook section, and it was just like us talking. Now it makes more sense. And now that we've described this area and now we're going here. All the time when it was like us traveling through, it was like, you go here and then you see this and then you see this and then you see this. I'm like, you could have just created a map and we could have gone through it. Now it makes some sense. We are effectively going through some of the things that we went through on the map, but we're going through them having got Ulfar back. It now makes a little bit more sense to me. The tracks of the mysterious enemy that defeated the Space Wolves have now,
Keep your wits
have now
about you.
almost
Pay
been hidden
attention.
by the snow. Okay, disarm.
Never doubt me.
That wasn't a problem. Okay. Well, somebody set a trap, which means that there's some intelligence here. I am wondering what could have killed that many Space Wolves, though. That is curious to me. Because I don't feel it would be Necron, despite the fact that this looks like a very Necron area. You get what I'm saying? I just don't feel like they would die to... I just don't see it going down like that, basically. Okay, there's nothing there. I was just wondering if that was actually a door or not. Okay. Interesting. Well, there's the bodies. My brothers! Red brows furrowed in anguish, Ulfar bows down over the bodies encased in ceramite and adamantine. Once again, fate has barred me from traveling to the hall of the Allfather with my brothers. Look around. The snow-covered battlefield reveals little, but it's clear the wolves gave furious battle one last time. The rocks are pitted from bolter strikes, and here and there you see scorch marks left by plasma charges. Who were they fighting? I smell no corruption on their bodies, and I see no traces of Xenos weapons. I think they did battle with humans here. Oh, maybe Kalkazar's humans? What do you think they were looking for here? I do not know what they were seeking, but they certainly found someone here. Otherwise, this crime would not have been committed. Okay. I'm sorry they died. Do not be sorry, Advatar. They died with honor, as the Allfather's warriors should. In the hall of Hjolda, their horns will be full to the brim with heavy mjod. Ulfar gnashes his teeth in anguish. Heaving in a breath, Ulfar mutters, I sense evil in their deaths. The souls of the baleful howl are not at rest, but remain here on the battlefield. They are not with the Allfather. I must escort them to him. Will you bear witness to the last honor given to my brothers? Why me? Our sagas have long since become one, and tradition bids that the burial be witnessed by another clan member, not an outsider. I have no one closer than you here. What are you going to do? I will sing their sagas so the world remembers who they were. Then the flames will take their bodies, and we will drink to the memory of my pack to ease their march to Hjolda. Perhaps we should return their bodies to Fenrys? There is no point now. If they had died recently, and if I were a wolf priest, I would have armed myself with the fang of Mordkai and extracted their progenodes, the implants containing the memory of the Allfather's blood. On Fenrys they would have been transplanted into young wolves, and the valor of my brothers would have lived on in them. But their bodies have lain here too long, so they should simply be given to the flames, to protect them against scavengers and unworthy hands. I'll bear witness to their final honor. Ulfar produces a knife and inscribed with scarlet runes. Picking up a rock from the ground, he begins to scratch the rock's sharp edge against the blade, etching a name. His powerful voice rumbles. Hear now the saga of the baleful Howl Pack, proud warriors of Fenrys, Vilka Fenrika. Verses weave together, recounting the deeds of each of Ulfar's dead brothers. With incredible precision in every detail, the wolf lists the accomplishments of his comrades, the enemies they slew and the sacrifices they made. The saga continues at length, and a relentless rhythm sends you into a trance. With a grinding screech, the rock is drawn against the knife blade again and again, inscribing one name after another. On the cold world they gave battle, the pack's fierce name never disgracing. So ends the saga of the baleful howl, and the void thunders with echoing unending Fenrys Hjolda. Ulfar is silent for a long time. The etched knife slices across his huge palm, and scarlet drops paint the snow. His weary voice rasps, "Hear my oath, Allfather. Hjolda, through Ra, Ak, Yamia." With his bloodied hand, the wolf removes the rune-covered horn from his belt, and from a flask pours something dark and sharp-smelling into it. "Let us drink to my brothers at Vatar, and then we will build the pyre." What oath did you just swear? "It is the oldest oath on Fenrys. It translates as, I will avenge or I will be forsaken." What is that? "Usually wolves are commemorated with Mjod, but I'll have to settle for something I made myself. A few poisonous herbs from Janus, some rare toxins traded on footfall. Maybe this brew will overcome the physical might of an Astartes." Ulfar smiles sadly. "How I wished my omen would prove a lie and that my libation would sour without ever being tasted." Sounds like you're asking me to drink poison. "I am not a madman. It is a strong brew, but it will not kill you. It shouldn't, at least. It may envelop your mind in a haze of dreams. Do not believe everything you see. The visions may have been sent by the Allfather, or someone less worthy." Why would we drink that? "Custom. Back when Leman Russ was still young and did not yet know the Allfather, he found himself in the lost village of the Wave Raiders clan. They had all been slain by monsters, and their souls now wandered the ruins of their homes, crying out for vengeance. Leman Russ could not speak to the dead, comfort them or grant them peace, because he was alive and they were not. But then he brewed a mixture of poisoned herbs and drank himself almost to death. The light in his eyes faded and the figures of dead appeared before him in the darkness. Russ swore an oath of vengeance before them, and the fire of resentment in their hearts went out. We have been giving our dead the same send-off ever since." Okay, well, we have a huge problem with alcohol in that that'll be carouse-based and we have, like, just a mental block with that, but I'm going to drink the drink. Feast well, wolves. We might just straight up die here. Yeah, we're not doing well. The astringent liquid burns your throat. A fog immediately descends over your vision. The sky darkens and the rising wind whistles in your ears. Through it comes a high-pitched cawing of a bird. Ulfar nods approvingly. "It is a sign fate walks beside us, Skull." Tossing back his horn, the wolf takes a mighty swallow of the stuff. Majestic shadows rise in the snowy haze around you. The figures of warriors clad in indestructible armor, bearing an emblem of two black fangs piercing the yellow of the sun. They are looking at you. "The brothers bear witness, which means it is time for us to meet my last comrade." What comrade? "There is one missing among the dead, and now I know who I was fighting before. It was brother Ignilf." Oh, okay, what happened to this Ignilf? "He went mad with grief over the bodies of his brothers, and the curse of Wulfrin prevailed over his valiant heart. He became a beast." Is he dangerous, or will you be able to reason with him? "There is no reasoning with the one who knows only the black bitterness of hatred. The curse of the Wulfrin is not only our bane, but also our shield against temptation. When intolerable thoughts take shelter in a wolf's mind, the curse comes and drives him out, dousing them with the waters of anger. You cannot reason with a wolfen, or deceive him or entice him, as is our bloody talisman against evil. What are we going to do with him? Corruption is washed away by blood. We will cleanse his spirit, as there is no hope for his body now. None return from the curse's embrace. Kalkazar once encountered another of my brothers who had become a wolfen. Kalkazar captured him and brought him to Fenrys. That is the debt we came here to pay. But we have no way of doing what Kalkazar did, so we will have to grant brother Ignilf peace." Rather than killing your brother, can we just leave him here? Who will he hurt here, after all? "We cannot. The curse of Wolfen is secret to our chapter, and secrets must be kept. I cannot leave proof of our vulnerability here. The enemy may find it and use it. I see. The wolf moon raises its head and howls. Then it turns its wise, piercing gaze on you, and blood rains down from its snow-white fangs onto the frozen world. Where do you intend to look for him? A toothy grin is the only response you receive. See fangs lengthening before your eyes. Is Ulfar laughing at you, or the feral moon suspended in the sky? The fog clouding your mind grows thicker. He will come. Let's do this. Ulfar lets out a belligerent howl, whipping up snowdrifts into frightened whirlwinds. You hear a terrible cracking sound. Someone's feet, no paws, are breaking through the crust of snow on the ground. The beast now comes, and its cruel howl awakens the fallen warriors of Fenrys. Fenrys thirsts for vengeance.
You will beg for mercy.
Oh.
But I will grant none.
We also have to fight these guys?
Father!
Okay. This is interesting. Ulfar, here. Abelard, here. Argenta, here. Heinrich's here. Jai. Heinrich's here. Jai here. We're gonna go there temporarily. And then we're gonna try and go here, I guess. See, we're gonna go here temporarily. Let's go. So, front
Who
line.
if not me?
Move here. Back line. Okay. Let's figure out how far I can move. Okay. Rear. We're gonna go here. Okay. So now it's more stacks. Gonna eat those stacks immediately.
I'll make it happen.
Okay. Perfect spot. Let's do a surefire plan.
Compromise my
And then
principles.
reduce his stats, which will then also in turn decrease his damage. Then we're going to trenchline stratagem this area to increase their cover efficiency. Increase the armor
This is good
here.
as done.
And that is the end of our turn. I am, however, going to use surefire plan. I'm going to take one step. That increases our dodge. Okay, then I'm going to use Transcend the Potential on Jai. And I'm going to give an extra turn to
Wanna see a
Heinrichs.
trick?
Okay, Heinrichs. Let's start buffing. So immediately,
Naturally.
let's do Word of the Emperor,
Let's
Shield
see
of
to
the
it.
Emperor, Hammer of the Emperor.
But of
So that's
course,
us.
Lord Captain.
We are now, we now have more resolve, we are tankier, and we do more damage. Now I'm going to give Abelard a buff to his strength. Okay. And we're going to give him extra AP and movement. And I'm going to give him extra temporary wounds. Wonderful. Then I can use one of these Death's Whispers for free, which we will do. That's a huge amount of damage. Nice. Okay. In turn. Jai, you now have more of a turn. We're now going to inspire Argenta. Okay. Set this one
Don't
as a
get too
target.
cocky.
We get extra stats if we kill it. And we're going to give a buff
Tell
to
me and
Argenta
it
in
is
terms of stats. And we're then going
I
to
can do
increase our
that
momentum
with the right
up a little bit.
incentive.
Then orchestrated
They'll
firestorm on
write
this
legends about me.
one. Nice. So now we've killed them. And somebody got the stats for it, I'm sure. Right, now we can turn around and shoot this one.
You've got a problem?
Let's see how this goes.
I've got a price. Never cross a Kazbalik.
Fenrys is
Okay.
in battle. Who shall
Do this again.
Getting paid for this. Jai Haydari. Remember
Okay,
the name.
cool. Now it's back to our turn. Dismantling
You
attack on
should
this
feel
one.
honored to
This will hit
witness
Abelard,
this.
unfortunately, I just realized. Oh, it didn't bounce. Fantastic.
My Karamite
Alright,
hide is
enter.
strong.
Get over here and use Furious Recital. Right. Now we're going to start with a I guess Reckless Rush.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Okay. Then shoot.
Is a friend.
Is all but gone.
Well, that was surprising that was that easy. I'm assuming that more will spawn when we kill the first slot. Okay, get over here. And, yeah, get over here,
I
controlled
will
shot.
bathe this
Although I think we got something that meant I didn't
battlefield
need to use
in
controlled
righteous
shot,
fury.
but anyway, let's do it anyway. Then shoot. Also, what weapon are we using? We are using our heavy bolter. Why is this only costing 1? Shouldn't this be costing, more? Oh no, because our improved heavy bolter costs, just cost less. I see. Yeah, that was it. So what's our, yeah, okay, that's fine. In which case, that's perfectly alright then. Shoot
As
him.
the Emperor commands, is why I return. Eradicate.
Nice.
Just a scratch.
New wolf available. Dash here.
Doubt is for the weak.
The reason we can't attack is because we're next. Well, it's not just because we're next to it. Let's now use Revel and Slaughter. Nice. Buffs are starting. And we'll do this as well, so we now get crits. I should have done that earlier, but let's worry about that later. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Changes his weapon about 10 times and then goes and strikes. Okay. Next one coming in. Chucked a grenade at us. Did basically nothing. Nice attack in the back there. Jai's turn. Okay, we're gonna buff Wolfard.
Don't get too cocky.
We're now going to give an Inspire to Argenta. She's now got a lot more stacks. We're gonna set this one as your
Tell
target.
me, and it is done.
Okay. Let's ignore Orchestrated Firestorm for now. I'm now going to use this on Argenta.
I can do that with the right incentive.
Who's next, actually? You do. Okay. Probably a little misplay for me there, but that's okay. Let's shoot this one.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
And now it's costing 2
My
for burst fire. I
Emperor.
don't know why it's costing 2 now and it wasn't before. Okay, can I dash around here?
I'll do it.
I can. Perfect. So that now means I still need another shot. Steady superiority
I am
gives me another
his
shot
will
for free.
made manifest.
Perfect. Now we're gonna shoot you. Only costs me 1. Okay. Rapid fire.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
That's fine. And now we've got the thing that means that rapid fire doesn't reduce your damage. So shoot.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay, the extra shots were unnecessary apparently.
Bones still stand.
That's fine. Orchestrated
Wanna see a
Firestorm.
trick? Never cross a Kazbalik.
Nice. I love seeing Abelard dodge. Yeah, we must have something that now means that he dodges them automatically, because otherwise, what was that? Right, Fervor.
Don't get too cocky.
So we're going to reduce our health
Too
here.
bad I never leave debts unpaid.
Then we're going to inspire yourself.
I can do that with the right incentive.
Then we're going to press the advantage. And then we're going to use that.
Tell me,
Shoot.
and it is done. Jai Haydari.
Then do it again.
Predator does not become prey.
Wonderful. Can't use finish the job because we were the ones who did the damage. Okay. Seeing, yeah, so I should be able to do this on Heinrich to get him to attack.
Am I getting paid for
Let's
this?
do this. Nice! Oh, now we get the storybook section. And that is crazy. Okay. Region classified, location classified, material oral retelling of On Ulfar and His Brothers, the Baleful Howl saga, and On the Last Wolf verse recorded by Arch Chronicler Ulkirk Emistat. My verses you will hear, glorious brothers, of how the paths of Ulfar, called Thunderlung from the first, and the last wolf of the Baleful Howl were intertwined. Over his brothers' cold bodies, standing, Ulfar the hard-armed proclaimed, to the sky their glorious sagas, and his last homage paid to those warriors proud, and his witness taking the companion of the line von Valancius. The blizzard was raging, and the fire furiously howling, as under that terrible claw paw, the snow crunched, and in the dead light of the moon, strange to human eyes, a beast, long fur bristling, of death reeking into the circle stepped. The Allfather's call to summon to battle against the beast. You did not fear me, perfidious spirit, to whom the Grendel claims. I see you have not learned from the last battle, though you paid for it with gouged eye. So spoke Ulfar Thunderlung, and of the beast replied, of your spoils you boasted to the priests in vain, Ulfar ever lost. My body alone you wounded, but I your spirit maimed, and your word crippled. Then came the turn of the Atvatar to speak. Okay. And turn the two wolves away from the empty shedding of blood. But it is not given to us to change the fate's weaving. The children of Fenrys hungered for mortal combat. Enough words have been spoken. The power of words spewed from the beast's mouth grinning, the cry of the wild hunt, and the embittered souls hearkened. Out of snow and wind, wolf bodies were woven from the warriors who died an unclean death, the unavenged, evil never forgetting. Their ice fangs gnashing, they approached into the roiling sky howling. The first brother by Ulfar was vanquished. Against the second went von Valancius the Brave. Not a hope in hell. Do you see our chance of success is 0? The second went whirling with von Valancius the fleet-footed, unable to smite the foe, or with the second he clashed the Atvatar as his shield. Yes. Then the laugh booming, the heavens were split by the formidable Ulfar, his battle friends guarding, and a mighty wrench the wolf's jaws he tore, opening them wide, the evil charms banishing. With dignity was met each brutal strike, with savagery was slain each deadly foe. The pack is defeated. Oh wow, I love the artwork on the side here. But the beast was not yet vanquished. Roaring his body he threw into the fray like a mighty spear thrust, howling his claws cut through the adamantine. The warriors fought, a river of blood spilling. Ulfar Thunderlung, his battle song singing, the black curse his vicious rival echoing. The warriors were clashing when the cunning Atvatar, a direct blow struck to the beast's broad's back. A keen shot struck the enemy from afar. A sliver of weakness sighted in the foe's armor, or stepped back, his ally granting the breath to strike. Okay. I'm definitely gonna... A sliver of weakness sighted in the foe's armor. A weakness spying in the weak armor's joints, the Atvatar to Ulfar cried out that a ruthless blow he should strike. His knife drawing and a harsh cry unleashing. Thunderlung plunged the blade into the insidious spirit's foul flesh. To his knees the beast fell, and suddenly, about his grey lips a smile played of guile and fear. Upon the avatar fell the wolf's fiery gaze. By the power of icy Fenrys, I do curse you. If you look into the past, you shall see only deceit. If you look into the future, you shall see only treachery. The false friend's dagger shall open your breast. The arrows of deceit's rot shall pierce your back. So spoke the Avatar, the spirit born, sorrow cursing. Sweet Meod, my mind has fogged, said the Avatar, as the caroused one. His teeth gritting, the Avatar stared down his foe. The Avatar's lips a daring song burst forth, death on the battlefield extolling. Or fight boldly on, my brave brother Ulfar, you will taste his victory alone. Persuasion is the only one we can do. The Avatar's lips a daring sound bursts forth, death on the battlefield extolling. In the heat of these words, the Avatars inflamed, the spirit's fatal vision vanishing. Glory to the brave hearts that fear no death. In its death's rasp, the Doppelgendel answered, Brother, we are doomed not by the arch-enemy's followers, nor by the despicable inhumans who did not touch our armor, nor with dark sorcery did the Malefics defeat us. No, it was the humans who oaths of friendship swore that plunged the blade into our back, their treacherous plot and malice hatched. Said the spirit, and then it fell silent forever, the noble wolf's body fleeing and peace to it bestowing. The pair stood together over the prostrate body not of a beast but of a brave fallen brother. The fearsome Ulfar declared that the oath of vengeance and the mighty wolves to Valhalla went charging. They went knowing that from their betrayers 3 times the blood price would be extracted, and then the Avatar also his piece spoke. Okay, another awesome image to the side here, with its Ulfin brother here, Ulfar there, and then the fallen group in the background. Great. Okay. Let's just see what we're gonna say. Who killed your brothers? From this day forth, who is our foe? The traitor's name for now remains unknown, but in the darkness I will find him and have my revenge, so answered Thunderlung. And the Avatar also his piece spoke. And now the last of the pack remains, Ulfar, the Avenger. Let's give him a new name. For the cursed wolf there is no other path than to be the hand that the punishment metes out. To his brother's slayers the fire of their hearts by death are generously doused, but I, cooled forever, always endure. So Ulfar's mighty word was spoken, so a proud funeral dirge was sung, his brother's weary body, cursed by grief, from his carapace was freed and laid upon the fire. The old spinners weave the word thread cruelly, no inquiries or entreaties accepting. Ulfar, Thunderlung, cast his gaze, and clearly he beheld the end of his trail. And so ended the saga of the baleful howl. May the Black Mane guide them to Valhalla. Only one was not claimed by Morkai the Dark-Hearted. Ulfar, Thunderlung, stood stalwart upon the ground. Too stubborn for death was this rebellious wolf, too hot to be seized by the chill of the grave. His brothers praising, he raised his deadly axe. Fenrys stands, so there will be many yet to slay. Okay. Was there room in Ulfar's heart for sorrow? So it was, but anguish does not plague the warrior's soul. He knew one day his brothers he would meet again, once the curse was broken and his honorable death he claimed in battle. Glory to the fierce wolf, son of Fenrys. Let us remember, brothers, that the baleful howl, daring hunters, fierce fighters, and troublemakers without equal. Let us glorify their exploits and glorify their fall. With honor have these wolves gone to Valhalla. Let us remember the mighty brother Ulfar, who did not abandon his pack in the snowy wastes. Let us remember the traitor of the von Valancius line, whose name is known and honoured on Fenrys, but not included in the song, and let us raise our cups and cry into the face of the Hellwinter's gale, Father, we live still, Fenrys Hjolda. Okay. And with that, we have firmly finished his quest. We have found his brothers, although we haven't fully finished his quest because we have to find who betrayed them. It sounds like it was members of the crew that betrayed him. Now, I have a guess, and this guess is made upon the fact that we're in Act 5 and there are very few people who could have betrayed him. It's gotta be Kalkazar. Why Kalkazar did it? We still do not know. But we know it was likely Kalkazar's orders. We have no more quests here. Let's just see if Ulfar happens to be around. Ulfar is around, okay.
Vater, it is good to see you. I swear that your name will not be forgotten when I return to Fenrys and sing my saga.
Something has changed in Ulfar, as though a burden that has weighed on him ever since your first meeting is finally gone. There's a serenity in his harsh features that there never was before. He bows before you with respect. So you helped Ulfar overcome his grief at the loss of his brothers. I guess he could have been consumed by his grief as the other option. I wish to once again express my sorrow for your fallen brothers.
Thank you. Their stories will not be forgotten, but will live on in the chapter's legends. We wolves do not fully die. We live to hunt in Kjalhala, and one day we will return to this world for the final battle. Glorious will be the day when we brothers are reunited.
What will you do now, last of your pack?
The pack is no more. I could become a lone wolf, an avenger of the fallen. But my heart yearns for something else. I have missed the company of the warriors of Fenrys. When we finish your business here, I will seek out Thorbold Ironhide and accept his generous offer. I will bind myself to ties of blood brotherhood to the Stormbiters. My duty to the Allfather is not yet fulfilled.
Do you still believe in the power of the curse upon you?
The curse is strong. There is no doubt about that. But my spirit is stronger than a doppelgrendel. I overcame one in combat, so can I not overcome its magic? No. One day I will find the glorious death on the field of battle.
Tell me, what gave you the strength to resist giving in to despair?
Do you remember when I was overcome with rage in the wreathing Tempest Spire? And you reminded me who I was supposed to be fighting for.
Ah, so it's all the way back then. A choice you made then affects what he does now. Okay.
When I told you of the death of my brothers, Arnulf and Skjaldi, you paid tribute to their valor. And for a moment, I felt as if I were back home on Fenrys. And I wanted to return there. Your counsel, Edvetter. It is what gave me strength.
Interesting. So I'm wondering if it's the same with Marazai's one, whether it was Act 3 that's effectively determining the end point for these companion quests. I guess it makes sense as well with Argenta. It seems like it could have been Act 3 that affected it as well. Interesting. Of course, it depends who you had in Act 3, so I guess Marazai and Ulfar makes a lot more sense because you get them in Act 3. While for other characters, it makes less sense because you'd have to take them. I guess you could, influence them from there. Like, it could be that there's... I'm just spitballing. Obviously, you can just find the answers by looking online. But that's less interesting. But I wonder whether it could be that depending on who you take, you can then end their quests in different ways. Like, if we hadn't taken Jai to Komarag, then we potentially wouldn't have known about her previous life, right? We wouldn't have known that she was telling us a lie the whole time. She could have kept up the facade. There's that kind of interesting thing going on here. Anyway, I saw strange things during the battle. Was it a mirage or a warp influence?
Dreams brought on by Mjord mixed with reality and the spells of the Doppelgrendel. How can I say what was true and what was a mirage? Were we fighting against the spirit or against my deranged brother? Did the ghosts of the fallen rise up beside us to weigh our valor on the scales of honor? Or did the drug make us do battle with the wind? It is all true, Edvater, or perhaps none of it was. The people of Fenrys have long known how thin the line between what is real and what is legend. And we were in a legend.
You have fulfilled your duty. I congratulate you.
I could not have done it without you, Edvater. Know that, now and always. You will have friends on Fenrys.
Likely you can do all that and then just say, no, I want you to leave. But we'll go.
Fenrys Hjolda, Edvater.
Okay, so we have now finished his quest. So next time, we have no quest except the main quest. We'll explore the rest of the system, we'll level up, and I guess we'll see what's in the next one. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.